Unleash your potential. Unleash your potential, reach for the stars, electric dreams align, show them who you are, unleash your potential. Yo, 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 let's go. 1, 2, 3, unleash and grow. Embrace the vibe, set it free, your potential unlocked, just believe. Psychedelic journeys, hearts aligned, step into the future, greatness redefined. Good morning, thank you all. Unleash your potential, set your dreams free. In a world of stars, become who you want to be. Stand tall in the storm, embrace the rain, ride the wave of... Good morning, thank you all for joining us this morning again for Unleash Your Potential, Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews. We can appreciate your presence as we are excited, motivated. Thank you. Let's have this edifying time together from a motivational perspective. Bro, embrace the vibe, set it free, your potential unlocked, just believe. Unleash your potential. As usual, we do a quick recap of the week before this week's lecture, and then we get into the week's lecture. Again, thank you all for coming on. We are inspired by your presence. Last week, the emphasis was on slaying the giant of procrastination. Slaying the giant of procrastination. We began by motivating ourselves that the word is used by people as they understand it, the pronunciation, the spelling, not very rare with many people and seldom seen in literatures. Often the word delay is used and seen in literatures of different kinds, but it means the same thing. A procrastination simply means postponing, delaying, or postpone or delay. That it is entirely undesirable. It is entirely undesirable, but it depends on the situation one is in or what he or she faces simply. Sometimes we have good reasons for our inaction, your inaction, my inaction, but often it's because of laziness. You sometimes hear the expression mental laziness. It is human nature to put off things, to put things on hold, to postpone or delay with the word procrastination. And rhetorically, we were concerned to ask that procrastination or delay or postponing, what does it produce from a debilitating or the kind of effect it brings? that it produces a false sense of control. It produces a false sense of control. Moreover, it ignores the uniqueness of conviction. That's what it does. And then we talk about some of the effects. There are several, very many, but we opted for a few, and we did look at one. It steals your valuable time, if any, with your approval. It diminishes your chances or opportunity for growth. It hinders your success, and that means costing you potential financial and personal gains. It leads you to burying your dream by delaying, or when you delay on it, it leads to regret. Instead of talking about achievement, you will just be wrestling against yourself, with yourself, of yourself, by yourself. Another debilitating delay has time lost, is gone forever. You can retrieve it, you can bring it back, you can reverse it. Taking with it opportunities, it leaves you with that anxiety, the emotion. And we said the actual description for delay, postponing, or postponement under the caption procrastination, or the word procrastination, is thief of time. Thief of time. That's what procrastination is. That's the actual name or description for the word thief of time. It steals your time. And then we talk about how it robs you of whatever you may think that you've already have in place or you're going to achieve. That no one who is practicing her procrastination or the procrastinator succeeds at anything. Absolutely not. It robs you of the chance to get what you want or to move to the level at which you want. It leaves you with impression that you can make it, that you have time, but time isn't in your favor. Time, when you feel impressed, you just feel impressed that you have the time, but the time is running. It doesn't wait for anybody. If you cannot take action when the opportunity is yours and the time afforded, but you procrastinate, what happens? You are doomed. You are doomed to defeat and failure. Nobody likes failure. No one wants to fail. But when you give time, attention, when you sleep on, when you nurture, nurse, rehearse, delay, it robs you of everything. You're going to be in a place or a time or have a feeling that you just wrestle within yourself. And that would say that you ought to give no place to delay. Give no place to delay in your life. Look carefully at those stimuluses that might cause delay, and then you can slay them. Stimulus is, from a sociological standpoint, incidences. They can be temporary, they can be permanent, they can be strong, depending on how it comes. Just different situations that confront you that you do not plan to confront, but they come up, they happen accidentally. Everybody is out presently, but there are things that had happened. They did not plan for it from yesterday throughout the night to this morning to serve as obstacle. No, but they come up suddenly. So when you have that, you face it. And then we talk about delaying, creating a false sense of control. Creating a false sense of control. One of the things that delay does, one of the debilitating effects, it gives you the impression that you are in control of tomorrow. Therefore, rest yourself today. At this point, you'll see people postponing, putting things up or on hold, that I will look at this tomorrow. I don't have time for this now. I will do it at this time. When you are putting things on hold, you are saying it's in the right time, and you are in control of time, and you will determine the time. Interestingly, no one knows time. You can postpone, you can delay, but it's not a full guarantee. It's not a full guarantee. That is why it's not advisable that you sleep on things, you postpone, you delay, because something might come your way and you might not be in the position to go back and do it. When you think you have control of today or you have control of tomorrow, therefore you should rest today, meaning putting everything on hold, that your delay is legitimate. It gives you that false impression. It is a false impression, wrong, undesirable conviction. It does not take into account the uncertainty of life. What that means is, if you are embroiled or you get into a situation, unfortunately, procrastination or delay or postponing does not empathize with you. Instead, you take full responsibility for your inability to rationalize well or to think well. If you know for sure that tomorrow you could procrastinate on things, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows that at all. If you know for sure, if you know for sure that tomorrow will, you could delay on things. That means if you can determine tomorrow, then you can delay today. But here is it. Very many of the people who thought they knew tomorrow and delayed today never got everything they wanted as they envisioned it, because time wasn't in their favor. Nobody knows the future. No one knows tomorrow. And even today, no one knows today, but everyone is in today. It is against that backdrop that whatever you have to do it. Face every task you have, every plan, and you have itemized. You execute them and spend the time and energy, and if it requires resources, execute. No one knows tomorrow. No one knows. So don't delay on anything in your life. Face it now to make room for the opportunity ahead of you. And then, what did we do? We did a simple personification drill, which we'll do with this one. The simple personification drill that we did. One. The anxious procrastinator or delayer, if that is a word. Here is that person. fears criticism or failure. 2, the perfectionist procrastinator or delayer, if that is a word. Wait for ideal condition and time. The the perfectionist procrastinator, he or she is perfect in himself or herself. That's how he or she feels. And therefore, there is no need to rush anything. So he or she waits for the ideal condition and time. Ironically, that ideal condition or time is not determined by the perfectionist, because the perfectionist has no control over life and all of the things. You can be waiting for the ideal time and it doesn't work. Just like our man Kafka, our man Kafka, old man, he was waiting for the perfect time, perfect condition. And so he sat at a place delaying ever so long. And the opportunity was afforded him. And he was there waiting. At the close of the day, when he got ready, the time wasn't in his favor. He was denied. Don't be that perfectionist procrastinator. 3, the overwhelmed procrastinator. The overwhelmed procrastinator. The co-character of this person doesn't know where to start because he or she overwhelms with a lot, or overwhelms himself or herself with a lot. So you hear this person, oh, this thing, man, I'm too embarrassed. I have too many things to do. How do I get started? I get this one. You hear, because the person overwhelms his or herself or himself with a lot more. So he or she does not know where to start. 4, the hedonist procrastinator. The hedonist procrastinator chooses fun. Just go about with fun. Okay, leave that. We have things to do. Let's go and get food to eat. Let's have some time together. We'll look at that later. A hedonist is that person who takes more pleasure, more time into pleasurizing, the same as Epicurean. The 5th, the overplanner procrastinator. The core character of this personification plans excessively to avoid acting and doesn't readily do, but wonder why the plans are not working. When you overplan, you get so excessive with a lot, you wouldn't get started readily. Certainly not. And then there is the student syndrome procrastinator. Wait until the last minute. Or I will go to class. If that professor can come late, I'm rushing. In fact, that man can start his class soon. So I'm not rushing. You're procrastinating. Before you can realize it, the professor is in class and the lecture may have gone halfway or almost to the end. Look at some of the people. They enter the class late. And when the professor or TA or instructor tell them you have to wait until the lecture is over, then they get emotional and start to say all manner of things against the professor or the instructor or TA or whoever. You don't delay on anything in your life. It is bad. With that recap, let's now focus on today's lecture in the next few minutes, and then we are out of this lecture for today. Kings 88.5 motivational talk, weekend motivational talk. Unleash your potential. This morning's and this week's lecture, slaying the giant of jealousy. Slaying the giant of jealousy. Slaying the giant of jealousy is our lecture for today. Slaying the giant of jealousy. Slaying. That's what we are going to look at in the next few minutes. Then we will be out. Slaying the giant of jealousy. Slaying the giant of jealousy. Here's the etymology or the meaning of the word first. It means to feel resentment or put on resentment, bitterness, or hostility against someone because they have something that you don't have. Resentment, bitterness, or hostility against a person or someone because they have something you don't have. In this lecture, we will combine two words given their proximity, if not same. And the next word is envy. What is the meaning of envy? Negative feeling of desire for something that someone else has and you don't. So we, from these two lines, can conclude that the two words share commonality and they are used interchangeably. This is not supernatural instinct. Please note, it is not supernatural instinct. That means it wasn't imputed into anybody by God, the Creator. It is not supernatural. Neither was anyone born with it. Envy, jealousy, and every other undesirable element, artificial, learn, situational impact, environmental change, and on we can go. Never tell anybody that envy, jealousy, and the rest were imputed into every human being by God. That is not true. What we have on earth is our desire based on our thought from the stimuluses that exist, from what we see, and a lot more. Jealousy, supernatural jealousy has none of those characteristics that we see of envy, jealousy, strife, malice, confusion. It is against that backdrop that one of the writers of the New Testament books will ask where these things are coming from amongst you. That was a reference for nobody was created with these things. How come? Where you guys taking this from? Where all this strife, malice, confusion coming from amongst you? When you hear that question, the person is telling you that you weren't created. God didn't impute dates. Where this is not part of God's imputation. You must have learned it. You must have seen it. You must have taken it on from another person. Please note, you will say, Sam Andrews, but jealousy in the Bible. Yes, jealousy in the Bible. Look at the jealousy in the Bible is in twofold. God's jealousy, love, peace, compassion, and on and on. That is exactly what he meant when he said, do this, do that, do that. And then don't we reach the point and say, oh, it's impossible, it's impossible. The jealousy I'm talking about is what we have on earth. And even if you want to spiritualize it, the Bible is replete with those undesirable jealousy, irrational jealousy, envy that leads to destruction, hostility. God's destruction does not lead to hostility. So if God didn't put jealousy in you, then it means he didn't put hostility, strife, malice, confusion, hate. That's why the writer of James will ask, where all these things are coming from amongst you? Jealousy simply means that you feel, you put on like clothes, resentment. Resentment means to pooch, to pooch from. Resentment, bitterness, or hostility against someone. And here is the reason: because that person has something and you don't have. Is it normal? Is it supernatural? No, it's irrational. Envy, negative feeling of desire for something that someone else has and you don't have. Irrational. So let me ask you before we get to the meat of it, and then we are out. If you are that person, if you got that character, if that is your humor, if it is in your humanity, why will you ever be jealous of someone else? Why? And here is it. You have no control over anything that is not within your domain. Hence, developing envy, jealousy, strife, you just hurt yourself psychologically, and it might lead you to something else that you will regret in your life. Whenever we speak the word or use the word jealousy, we use it interchangeably with the word envy. The word jealousy and the word envy are also Siamese twins. They are used interchangeably. Like last week when we did a personification drill, let's do a simple personification drill here this week. Let's do a simple personification drill as we did last week with the procrastinators. Jealousy is afraid that what it owns will be taken away by someone else. Envy begins with empty hands, mourning its lack, enjoying when others lose their superiority. Jealousy begins with full hands, fearful of losing what it already has. Jealousy coerces, and it is cruel. Envy is sneaky and subtle, just like God would describe the devil in Genesis chapter 3. He used the word subtle. If you know what that word is, you will not give any space to jealousy or envy. Jealousy clutches, envy is forever reaching and longing. Envy and jealousy are sleepless bedfellows that keep each other awake day and night. Envy and jealousy are sleepless bedfellows that keep each other awake day and night. They are good friends. A person who has this instinct and comes across another person who has that, this person is envious and the other person is jealous, they become what? Bedfellow. They are people of the same mindset and they have the same goal and they work together readily, good, in unison, and they ready to execute the plan at whoever they can get out. You don't want to put on that. Everybody was created by God in their uniqueness. There isn't any person who does not have the ability to take his life to another level, to take her life to another level. There isn't any person on earth who is lacking anything. It is only the inability to realize your potential that you think that life is against you. Other people are responsible for your downfall. Hence, you develop undesirable desire. Jealousy is never supernatural, wasn't imputed by God into anybody. It is artificial. It is learned. It is seen. The environment has an impact, meaning influencing, leading people into putting on this feeling or that feeling. Everyone is capable within himself, of himself, by himself, to move his life or her life to another level. Jealousy is not only irrational, but it has its serious debilitating effect that you can never achieve your goal. The end is always disastrous. An envious person is that person who thinks because he doesn't have, therefore the next person should not have. The envious person, I'm using the word from earthly standpoint, and even if you went into the Bible, you will see that from whence I speak, and you will see the positive, righteous, legitimate envy. You never come to the conclusion that you will be something or you will be something. Rather, that the next person should be destroyed. And the jealous or envy person does everything he or she can. Now watch it. It gives the person this false impression that he or she is smart, that he or she can execute the plan. But what's going to happen? Everything the person is doing, he or she is working against himself. The against is against the person. It's not against the person whom is seen as the target. It's just like anger that we talk about on Sunday on Focus on Christianity. The person who harbors the anger is the one who is affected. Then the person on whom he or she thinks the anger is being poured on. The same way that you don't nurse your anger, you don't rehearse your anger, you don't nurse jealousy, you don't rehearse jealousy, you don't do any one of those things. When you see a person who is envious, jealous, and on, because the person nursed it, the person rehearsed it, the person gave it everything. So it becomes part of the person. It becomes chronic. It sits in the person. It becomes a resident in the person. Hence, that is the person, right, personality right there. and everybody gets to know. The righteous, legitimate, sinless jealousy or envy looks towards the future and say, what do I need to do to get my life from this level to another? That kind of person in his or her jealousy doesn't think about people around him or her. He or she focuses on himself and the future with hard thinking. Don't ever put on anything called jealousy or envy. You are unique in yourself. You got the ability, you got the talent, you got everything, life, advancement of life in you. When you look at the next person and put on hostility, that hostility is not against the person. It may seem against the person, but it is not against the person, because it is not the person that is planning the hostility or put on the jealousy or envy. It is you. Psychologically, you are killing yourself from in. That acid is eating you gradually because you've been battled with it. You're having no rest. You're thinking evil, and it will get back. No doubt it will get back to you. It's because you nurse it, you nurture it, you reverse it. It is wrong. Value yourself because you've already valued by your creation. You've got the ability. Everybody cannot be the same. Everybody cannot be on the same level, but everybody has what it takes to take everybody's life to another level. If I can tell you this way, envy, jealousy, malice, strife, those are characteristics, core characteristics of the devil. You don't want to put yourself in that category. You want to just be yourself in your unique self. Don't ever put it on. If you have it, you can slay it. It is a giant. A giant is anything that holds you back. A giant makes you to think that others are against you and therefore you should become hostile against them. A giant turns you into a comedian, a surrogate to use. The giant knows that you are the one who is going to be affected, and that giant doesn't want to be affected, but the giant thinks that you should be affected because you are the one who isn't thinking right. A giant is anything in your life that you have either nurtured or that you've gave into. So the expression slaying the giant of jealousy, meaning give it no space. If you see any characteristic of such of you within you, then you have to face it. And facing it means you have to slay it. And how you slay it, you just don't give any attention to it. Don't practice it. You'd never, ever succeed. Even in your cunning, if you will succeed, it's short-lived. Everyone who put on jealousy, envy against people, they never ever succeeded. If they ever succeeded, it was short-lived. Don't ever put it on. Life is like a plane. Everyone is blessed. Let me spiritualize this first so you understand it good. Everyone is blessed. Everyone is blessed. Everyone's prosperity, success is attached. Everybody cannot be on the same plane. Everyone cannot advance the same time. Everyone cannot have what he or she wants the same time. But everyone has it. It comes with time. So let's put it this way. I need something. I can't get it. A friend of mine, we are together all day, every day, week in, week out. And he gets. And then I do not have, but I want to. What do I need to do? To just say to myself, this is not my time. And what I have, be comfortable with it and use it. In the fullness of time, I get what I want. Let me give you this way again. Whenever I need something, but don't have it at that time, I just say to myself, it is not the time. This, what I want, I can get it. Then it means that is not what is set for me. So I put off that, meaning I take my mind off it. And then with the passage of time, I get something more than what I desire. That's how I go in life. And that's when you try that, you just do that drill with yourself, you will see. If you don't have it today, just say to yourself, it's not the right time. This time isn't for me, it's for the next person. So that person receives his. And then in a couple of hours or day or two, you have even more than what you had desired. Simple. Because God apportioned everybody's success, prosperity at a given time. It is only because we want it our time. So, and the next person is prospering. So we tend to put on an envious spirit against that person. Sometimes you hear people say, even in the business cycle, you see that demonic instinct of envy, jealousy. They say, oh, the person business prospering, she can go to medicine, man, that medicine she using, and she goes and tells her friends. Then the friends say, oh, you need to do something. But that lady isn't. No, it's just her time. And you see some people, business people, and I have seen this with women, it's rare in Liberia. They have no time. They all selling the goods together on the same line, and people go into that person and buy, and they're sitting. They have no time to put up any jealousy or any envy instinct to say that this woman is using medicine. They just wait until their time comes. When customer comes to them, they are excited. That's how it is. That's how it works in life. When you have that kind of attitude, it works for you in life. Just put on absolutely no envy, no jealousy, nothing. Just move on with your life. Think about nobody, how they are prospering, how they are moving from one level to another. It is not your business. Your business is to take yourself to another level. And how you do that? By thinking of what you need to do to move from where you are to another level. Whether another person is prospering, whether another person saw you is building executive mansion, whether another person saw you has gotten a new car, whether another person saw you is getting married and you walking by line. You just don't think about all those things. When you begin to focus on people, when you fix yourself on people, then it starts to take residence in you, that envy, that jealousy. It starts to turn you from a normal being to an abnormal person. And so you will focus on people. That's where you hear people talking about this person. Oh, this person is this. Oh, that person there. Oh, look at that lady. And don't mind these guys now. They in all kind of things. You see them riding BB car. The time you will take to do all of those things, you should be thinking, what do I need to do to get myself to another level. Slay the giant of jealousy. Slay that giant of jealousy. It's just a terrible, undesirable feelings that one puts on. Envy is a painful emotion from comparing yourself to someone with something desirable. It's painful. It leads to the act of inferiority, resentment, and unhappiness. You feel inferior when you look at the next person and the person is moving from one level to another. You feel that you should be that way, but because you aren't moving as the person is moving, you feel inferior. You feel belittled. You feel that you are cursed. You feel that even God has turned his back on you. And then you start to develop that resentment against the person. Naturally, the person has nothing against you. You're moving normally, but you just develop that resentment because the person is advancing and you aren't advancing, and how the person's advancement or prosperity from his or her potential. People develop resentment. They just get resentful at people for nothing. The people don't know about it. They're not responsible for your downfall or your retrogression or your revolving in life. They're not responsible. But because you feel they should not, since you are not, you put on that resentment. You're resenting as if that resentment going to do anything. And listen, this when envy, jealousy become so real, it becomes so chronic with all of its offsprings. Inferiority, resentment, unhappiness, hostility. These are the children of envy and jealousy. You know what it does now? That when you see the person, they go into traditional people, say this person prosperity should cut. This person, you know, then I know, you know more than I know of our culture. People just go out of resentment, out of envy, hate, go to medicine man and say this person, this one should not happen. This person should not. You know more than I. Our country is replete with that. And that's why some people look at it and say, no, we can't go to this place. We can't come to Liberia. Or some people come to Liberia secretly, and then they ask secretly because they have what they have seen from their community, from other people, just everywhere. You don't put that on. Be yourself as God has created you with everything done. Look at another person and say it is wrong for that person to be what he or she is because you aren't that person too. Just as we personify last week and this week, let's close with this one. The two different sides of envy and jealousy. The two different sides of envy and jealousy. One, big neck envy, BENIGN. That's how it is spelled. Yes, it drives self-improvements. It brings self-improvements. It bring out self-assessment, examining oneself to make strive, to move from one level to another. It doesn't take into consideration other people. It doesn't think about other people. Doesn't want to know about other people, but it focuses on self-improvement. And this kind of envy, we can put it in the category, in the biblical category. It doesn't. It concerns about itself, bringing itself alive, taking itself to another level by its thought, its potential, not wanting to know about who is prospering around him or her. No. It's just what it can do for itself. This kind of envy. Envy, which said envy and jealousy, there's the positive aspect. This is one. And then there is the second. Malicious envy. Malicious envy. Its goal is to harm people. People who have nothing against them. People who have even helped them. People who have taken them to another level. This is satanic. Do you know that people have helped family, people, relative, friends for no, not by coercion, not by anything, they move into help friends, help family members. And do you know they turn around and inflicted harm on that family member or friend? That kind of envy the person has done. You didn't tell the person. The person saw the need. Even if you told the person from his or her humanity comes out to do graciously. Yet your heart is evil. The person goes to do something to that person. It's called malicious envy. Its goal is only to harm. Even if good is done to it, it should reciprocate that good with evil. And that's why you have to be careful with people around you, with who you help, how you help. You just have to be careful. Characteristics of envy and jealousy attack. Characteristics of envy and jealousy attack. A-T-T-A-C-K, attack. Puts you down, either overtly or covertly or subtly. 2, it provokes reaction from anger to sadness to outrage. Listen carefully. The characteristics of envy attack puts you down, either overtly or covertly or subtly. 2, provokes reaction in you from anger to sadness to outrage. That's what it does. 3, undermines your opinion or stance, so you begin to doubt yourself. You don't want to put on any of either of these two, envy, jealousy. Slay it. God never imputed it as we do it on earth. No, it is not. God didn't. God did not impute jealousy of this nature. Jealousy from a spiritual standpoint, it simply means to elevate, to protect, to develop, to nurture, to guide, to supervise, to lead on a path of collective joy. That's what it is. That's what it is. Jealousy, legitimate jealousy, righteous jealousy, saintly jealousy, unsatanic jealousy does not harm. It nurtures, it protects, it develops, it gives pieces of advice, it empathizes and sympathizes with, a person who is down and picks up that person. That's what it does. It is that kind of jealousy that God imputed, that kind of envy that God imputed into everybody on earth. But the earth, people allow the earth, the stimuluses of the earth, to change God's imputation to its own. And so you see it undesirably all over. Envy nobody. If that is a giant in you, you slay it. You slay it by facing it, ridding it of yourself, giving no place to it whatsoever. And you will see prosperity in your way. Don't think about the next person. Don't talk about the next person. It's not your responsibility. Who is prospering beside you? It's not your responsibility. Who is moving to another level? It's not your concern. Your concern is yourself. Your subject is you. You think of yourself. Don't ever put on other people in your mind. Don't do that. Be yourself. Be satisfied with yourself. Be satisfied with what you have. Be just yourself. Slay whatever the giant that will come in your life in the form of envy of other people, jealousy against another people. Slay it immediately. Mortify it, as God would say, and put on your own jealousy of taking your life to another level, because you have the potential in you. You only need to unleash it. That's all. Slaying the giant of jealousy. That's all the time we've got for Kings 88.5 Weekend Motivational Talk. Unleash your potential. We're back next week. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate all of you. Great people. D. Johnson, Fred Pega, Josephine Campbell, Patricia John, Elizabeth Tojlan, Patricia Brown, all of you, my dear sister Orita Sunday Choir. Thank you all for coming on. I appreciate all of you. Great people. We are always inspired by your presence. Join us tomorrow at 9 o'clock for Focus on Christianity. We are in the festive season, they say, and there's this discussion that is ongoing of Jesus's birthday, that some say he was born in December, some say he wasn't born in December. And so I don't know whether it's worth looking at, but the Bible did not say so. It doesn't worth looking at, because the Bible did not say he was born in December, but there are lines in the Bible and there are situational feature. But let's see how it goes. I think we'll focus on some of those core biblical issues. Thank you ever so much. That's all the time we've got. We're back next week if God permits. Again, join us on Sunday for Focus on Christianity at 9 o'clock. I'm Sam Andrews.
Unleash your potential, reach for the stars, electric dreams align, show them who you are, unleash your potential. Yo, 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 let's go. 1, 2, 3, unleash and grow. Embrace the vibe, set it free, your potential unlocked, just believe. Psychedelic journeys, hearts aligned, step into the future, greatness redefined. Unleash your potential, set your dreams free. In a world of stars, become who you want to be.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.
Yeah, my man.